Today is a day to experience abundance, as is every day. Every day we want to experience abundance. Please let me know if you can see me there live because I want to share a message with you. And first of all, this is the first time, I think, in a very long time that I've gone live directly on YouTube. And I'm not sure if I am live on YouTube. So please let me know there in the chat that you can see me live on YouTube so that we can begin talking about the absolutely abundant August adventure that we're having. Let me know, can you see me? And are you ready for the absolute abundance journey? Let me know. I want to hear right there in the chat. Please let me know if you are watching. Where are you watching from? Where are you? Um, just write something there in the chat just to let me know, because when I look here, I don't see that I am live. So I may not be, there says 3 people are waiting. So it's been a while. So I see that I am live, but somehow I went live in the wrong area, not where I was planning to go. And I don't know, but I am going to have to put this link in my community so anyone that wants to watch can see it. And I'm so excited that you're here. And I apologize because I am relearning how to use YouTube. And that, of course, I'm doing it by myself and I need to learn, but I am going to put here. So let's talk about abundance, which, by the way, let me just make sure I share that I am feeling abundant. And I know that Source wants me to get a message out today, even if I can't share inside my community, because I don't know what the URL is to share either. And this is just going to be a test because life happens. And I don't think I have the correct URL. So maybe my husband, who's watching, can email it to me so that I can email it and put it in my community, because the scheduled location is not working. So I really do apologize. But let's begin with a little bit of humming, which is one of the techniques that I am practicing and that I'm going to encourage you to practice, because humming does help. Now, I had a beautiful hum that was created for me, and I'm looking for my phone. I don't see my phone. I don't know if you can hear it, and maybe my husband, who I'm hoping is checking, could tell me if you can hear the hum that I'm going to share, because that way I can relax and we could all relax and we could enjoy this hum on this beautiful, absolutely abundant 8-8. So I'm going to put it so that I can relax, and my husband will let me know if you can hear this beautiful hum. And by the way, if you want this hum, make sure that you go to moneymanifestingwomen.com and join our Absolutely Abundance August adventure. And you can have the next entire month of August with daily lessons to help you in your prosperity journey. And yeah, even though we are in our prosperity journey and our financial abundance journey, it does not mean that life will be perfect, as of course things happen, just like now, as you're seeing that I am here live streaming in live. And this is the thing about live, that there is no way with certainty, unless you've done it before, to know if it is working. So I'm doing my best here. But I'm going to put in my community. I finally found the right link myself. And that gives you some hope. We can do all things through the Christ within us, that infinite abundance within us. So let's begin by setting an intention, first of all. So let me know. I'm going to ask my husband if you can write in the chat that you can hear me, that you can see me, that put the word intention there so I can see it on my side, because I don't see anything in the chat either. And so let's write an intention. That's the first step for us. And yes, one of the biggest intentions that we can have for the day is being in the flow. So, right now, for me, I'm going to ask for being in the flow, right? That's one of the biggest things. I think you can see the chat there. And I'm going to put this 8 minute, but we might cut it. But I want you to get an example. And then my husband will tell me in the chat or with a thumbs up if you can actually hear this AI created hum. And then that will help us to kind of get into this present moment. So I'm going to put it on.
I am infinitely abundant. 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 I am infinitely abundant.
So if you want to receive that infinite abundance hum, make sure you go to moneymanifestingwomen.com and experience it every morning at 8 o'clock and every evening at 8 p.m. I will tell you that divine source of infinite abundance inspired me to create that one morning because I like to begin my day and end my day in a different space than being hurried or perhaps agitated, like I was a few minutes ago. Which, by the way, goes to confirm that this is a journey. Being aligned with the divine within, that which we may call by a different name, the source of infinite abundance, your higher intelligence, or in our community, we call it our financially free fatpreneur future self, means that we are on a journey. And every day affords us an opportunity to plug ourselves in. And that humming, you can call it a meditation, helps me to calm down. And humming, there is a theory that humming helps you to calm your nervous system. And because of that, I use it and it's been calming my nervous system. I can tell you that I feel a lot more calm now that we're live streaming and that we just experienced the I Am Infinitely Abundance hum. Now, inside of the community, I go into some of the research that I found regarding how exactly humming helps us to calm the nervous system. And in my research, I found that it is through the vagal nerve, the vagus nerve. And that is the neuroscience of it. And it doesn't really matter until you experience it and you feel calmer. And in moments like paying your bills or asking for the sale, if you feel your nervous system is going to get agitated, frustrated, or in any way less aligned than your financially free fatpreneur future self, then you want to do that small hum. Now, I will tell you, humming is very special to me because my husband says he can't sing because he feels he doesn't have the talent or ability. And he hums for me many times in the morning, in my ear. And even now, as I'm telling you this, I feel this little energy of love and excitement inside of me because I feel loved when he hums. And it's very special to me because of that. It is one of the reasons why I decided to do some research on humming because I was experiencing love and calmness when he would hum. And when he hums, like many times in the morning, after we wake up, he's right in my ear and it feels very soothing. So I'm going to invite you to go to moneymanifestingwomen.com and do the practice every morning and try it for yourself. And please let me know at the end of the month if you felt that it was a good way to calm your nervous system, particularly around financial situations like asking for the sale. So today is 8/8, and if you saw the video that I posted in my YouTube channel and everywhere on social media at EVDS Speaks, you saw that I asked AI to use my infinity logo, which I'm sure by now you've seen it, and bring in 8/8 together to create the infinity logo, which is my logo with my name. And I know that for many people, especially people that are into numerology, this day, Lionsgate, has particular significance of abundance. For me, I love the number 8 because it is like the infinity symbol, and it reminds me of infinite abundance. Now, when we recognize that we are infinitely abundant and we celebrate it, like today, celebrating it from the inside out, and we feel that, we practice and we rehearse every day feeling that infinite abundance, which is what we are doing currently inside of the moneymanifestingwomen.com school community in our absolutely abundant August. And we have another practice that we will show you in just a few minutes. Now, I want you to know that today I am really here to share with you and perhaps sell you on the idea that when you heal your financial trauma or financial anxiety or financial stress, that's when you will manifest more money and become a financially free fatpreneur. And that is for those of you that feel that there's been some financial trauma in your life, as I have felt it. Now, this week, when I was in our Wednesday coffee chat at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, one woman asked, well, what do you mean by financial trauma? And I thought it was interesting because she was a psychologist, right? And it just reinforced what I've learned through my research, that till this day, or till the day that I researched it, the American Psychological Association has not really defined financial trauma or placed it in the DSM-R5, I think they're into now. And that means that it's not in the diagnostic book that psychologists use. So going back to the psychologist who was in our coffee chat on Wednesday, this is the way that I defined it. First of all, I didn't know I had financial trauma. Like many people, we have gone through different traumas, and maybe you have a protective nervous system that has used a particular defense mechanism to protect you. For me, my nervous system has been protecting me by making me forget a lot about my past. And so even though for most of my life I've been in psychotherapy, I hadn't dealt with the issue of financial trauma. And the financial trauma that I'm speaking about, an example, an incident, okay? And then the actual financial trauma is not the incident or the story you remember, it's the result of it. So many things occurred to me, beginning with me being born into poverty, into government housing, where my mom was a single mom with 3 young kids, and we had to move. At that time, we were living in the island of Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States, as you know, but we had left in the middle of the night with only one piece of luggage each and whatever we could put in there, because we were running away due to a bad relationship my mom had with this man who used to beat her. And we were little kids, and in the middle of the night, I, as a little girl, knew that my aunt, who had been visiting from the United States, was going back to New Jersey from Puerto Rico. I said, Mom, let's just go to the airport and see if we can get on a flight too and get out of here. And I told her, if we don't do that, I am going to leave with my aunt. And I was 11. And so my mom said, okay. And my grandmother, bless her heart, she was such a strong woman. She had just experienced an episode that evening where this man locked my mom in her room, and I saw the whole thing. And that evening, then after that, my grandmother told my mom, yes, just go. Drive to the airport, get to the airport, and see if you can get a flight. So we packed everything and we came. So that was traumatic by itself. And living through that, not just from that man, but also from my father, as he was, also beating on my mom. So living through domestic violence was traumatic of itself, right? And then when we returned back to New Jersey, which has always been our home state, we had nothing. And I remember that we had to live in different people's homes, including my aunt, who had like an 800 square feet, two-bedroom apartment where she, her husband, and her three kids lived. And my mom and my two siblings, four of us, had to move in with them. So that's just part of my story. I don't want to tell you much more, but that entire experience of us being homeless at that time and having to wait to get government funding, food stamps, welfare, and Medicaid, and really getting our lives together was a process. And then we ended up being squatters as my brother and I broke into an apartment building in this federally funded, we used to call them the projects of Seth Boyden, that was their name. They're no longer around. A few years ago, they finally destroyed them. We were squatters. And then that's how we started living in New Jersey again after my mom left that situation. So, similar episodes and experiences like these types of events may have occurred to you as a child. Some of the women that come to me have experienced something similar with the closing of the business, particularly during the pandemic, where they had, let's say, a speaking business where they were being paid thousands of dollars for a 1 hour, 1 day speaking engagement. And then when the pandemic came, they had to close their businesses because they couldn't be, of course, as you remember, meeting with people. So all of a sudden they had a massive loss in income. And that might have been traumatic. So the ramifications of that are usually what we call limiting money scripts. And that's usually where the big problems start occurring. And so the first thing that I want to suggest is that every day is a new beginning. And that's what we are ultimately doing here today on this 8-8, knowing that there's infinite abundance, even amidst trials, tribulations, and situations like that. That's number one. That's the truth as I know it. Then to understand that even though, like me, you may have read all the money manifesting books, been in therapy, and also participated with many speakers and authors about how to manifest money. But if you haven't healed financial trauma, that may be the reason why you're not manifesting money. Now, if you feel that you may have financial trauma, you can actually visit evds.com, and there's a tab for free resources, and you can do a self-assessment quiz that will give you an idea of whether or not there might have been a traumatic event in your life that may have caused some financial trauma that may be responsible for the limiting money scripts that keep popping up through the voice of what we call the money pest. Now, let me explain. We use the term money scripts to mean limiting money scripts to mean the limiting money beliefs. And the money pest is kind of like that little devil on your shoulder with regards to money that is a money pest that is pestering you and coming up with these limiting money beliefs like I have to work hard for money, or everything comes hard to me, or why are things so difficult? Those are all limiting, low vibe thoughts and beliefs. And the process of aligning with infinite abundance, which is what we want to do today as we begin this day anew, this month, as we claim our birthright as infinite abundant beings, we process and heal spiritually these limiting money scripts, and we can then release the story and release the limitation. And in order for us to do that, there's certain processes of which I just had you experience this hum. And then my signature method is the FAB money scripting method. And the FAB money scripting method is a two-part method. One, we first deal with the healing of the self-healing, the spiritual self-healing of the financial trauma through a writing process, because the FAB money scripting method is a certain way of writing to help yourself spiritually from within to heal from those limiting money scripts that the money pest may be screaming into your head or in your ear. And so that is first. Now, once we have healed that financial trauma, what we want to do is to set a clear financial intention. And this particular month, we're doing that inside our Money Manifesting Women. We are setting a clear financial intention. So I'm going to invite you to go ahead and get a journal, a notebook, a piece of paper and pen or pencil, and write down, right after you do the humming process, what your heart wants you to manifest financially this month of August. And by the way, you heard me say the heart. So one of the things we practice here is going from the head to the heart. Is one of the reasons why, I am getting certified in the Heart Math Institute, because they are the spiritual scientists, I'm going to call them that are doing the research as to how the heart communicates with the head. And they are among many researchers, scientists that call the heart our second brain. And I truly believe that the heart is our second brain, and that for us to be more in this flow, we want to get away from the head and go into the heart. So that's the invitation for us today. Now, to set a clear intention for the month ahead, a clear financial intention, I'm going to invite you to practice the hum, then to begin feeling. And how do you want to feel? Well, one of the things we teach is that you want to begin with the end in mind. And the end is that idea of your financially free fatpreneur future self. Now, when we do this, we recognize that the easiest way for us to manifest more money without having to work hard, if that's one of our limiting money scripts, is to first heal the financial trauma, then feel today like our financially free fatpreneur future self now. And I know this is from a very high level, because there's so many particular steps that in this live stream I'm not going through. And we do this, and we call this a journey. And once you go through this journey, then you know the specifics. And the idea is that I want you to have is that when you heal your financial trauma and financial anxiety, you will be able to manifest more money and become your financially free fatpreneur future self. And I will tell you that to manifest that intention, I have to confess that manifesting your financial intentions do not feel safe to your nervous system. Our nervous system doesn't know the difference. It just knows that we are changing something. And so many times when we want to ask for the sale, we may feel frustrated, anxious, overwhelmed. Something is happening nervous system-wise. We feel nervous. And that is our nervous system reacting to what it is interpreting as not safe. So manifesting money may feel unsafe to your nervous system, and you want to understand that. And manifesting more money is going to feel very unsafe. Now, the if I was perhaps a if I had a magic ball or something, I would say that some of you are going to listen to this, and you might listen to this and not put it into practice and come back to it because you might say it's not the right time, right? But here's the deal, that if I can tell the future if I could, and I can't. I want you to tell me, or tell yourself rather, because you don't have to tell me, is how accurate would my prediction be that if today we don't start anew, start from that end in mind, and the end is start as our financially free fatpreneur future self, that in 3 months from now, we may still be in the same place. Worse yet, in 6 months from now, we may be in the same place. And unfortunately, many, hopefully not you, may be in the same place a year from now. So, why, right? So, why are you here today? What is your intention today? By practicing the first step, feel, and beginning to feel as your financially free fatpreneur future self, you may already experience a shift. It could be like she's more chill, she's more cool, she's more trusting, she's more in the flow. Things seem very easy for her. And so now you're ready to step into that identity of who she is, right? So the questions really to ask your heart, to get away from the head and go into your heart, and asking your heart, your intuition, why it knows that you are meant to be a financially free fatpreneur. And when you ask yourself, your higher being, that, then we use the practice of the FAB money scripting to start writing like a conversation to our nervous system, letting it know that it is okay to ask for, receive more, and give more money, and allow it to start feeling a lot more comfortable. Okay? Now, today, we won't be able to get into the how, but the how is not so important. It's to how this is going to happen for you to go from where you are today to where you want to be, let's say at the end of this month, the end of 90 days, 12 weeks, the end of the year. What's important is to begin with that why that comes as you start writing today, as to why are you willing to begin anew today? Why are you willing to invest your time, your money, your effort to consciously manifest the financial intention that your heart is telling you right now that is possible for you? And by the way, when you join our Money Manifesting Women, you could actually share that inside of the group, because we created a safe, private container there for us to be able to share heart to heart. And just so that you know, the more specific that you can be with yourself when you're writing, and then if you choose to share it with us inside our private community, the more specific you are, the better it is. So, like, one of the exercises we do inside of our community is writing as your financially free fatpreneur future self and how she feels. And we go into different feelings, different emotions, even sensations. Like I was just telling you, when I remember my husband humming in my ear, I felt this body sensation that was kind of giddy and joyful and happy. So we want to go all the way from our heads to our hearts, because sometimes that, I said all the way, because sometimes it feels like it's a long journey. It really isn't, but at the beginning, that's the way it feels. So the real question today in this 8-8, and as we begin this absolutely abundant August adventure, as I'm calling it, is, are you ready to create a miracle? A miracle. And, as I recall from A Course in Miracles, A miracle is a change in consciousness. Consciousness is awareness, and it takes you from the subconscious to being more conscious or aware. So, are you ready to experience a miracle? Knowing that your nervous system wants to keep you safe, okay? And that change to the nervous system equals danger, okay? So, you know you're ready if you are paying attention, if you're listening, if you're doing these things that I am suggesting to you. And that's an indication to you that you're ready. Now, if you are multitasking or have tabs open or doing something else as we're going through this journey together, then that may be a sign perhaps that you're not ready because maybe, as you probably heard the term, the monkey mind, which I always think a monkey is someone who, or the part of us who has to be multitasking. That's how I think of the monkey mind. I don't know what your definition is, so I just want you to understand what I mean when I say that. So if you feel that the monkey mind is racing through different thoughts and multitasking, then you might just need to get started during this absolutely abundant August adventure to begin practicing that hum, just to calm yourself, to know that you don't have to multitask. You don't have to do a million things at once, that you can focus and be deliberate, have deliberate intention, as one of my mentors, Dr. Wayne Dyer, used to say. So there are a lot of myths in the money manifesting world. And there are many, many limiting beliefs, right? And so I want you to start asking yourself, think of this like a little pop quiz. And I want you to ask yourself if this is true or false for you in your own mind, or if you already got your journal and your pen or your paper, pen and pencil, whatever, or in an email that you send yourself. You know, that's also a good idea. You could do it as open up your email inbox and send yourself an email from whatever you're gathering here today. And ask yourself, how many times do I find myself saying, I don't have enough time? I don't have enough money. If you find yourself listening and hearing yourself saying that, then I want you to pay more attention to that, because that is a limiting belief that is limiting you and limiting how you progress in life and in business. And true or false, do you find yourself saying that more often than is needed, or too often? I don't know if it's ever needed. Catch yourself, listen to yourself. Remember, our mouths and our ears are very close to each other, you know, they're in our body. So let's pay more attention to our body. If you find yourself right now, the monkey mind may be saying, well, I've tried these things before, they never work for me. Then that's an indication, that you want to work with that monkey mind, or with that nervous system, if you want to do that, to really let it know that it is safe to listen to this, that it's safe to look for the gem inside of everything that I'm saying, because some of the things I'm saying you might have heard already, and you know it intellectually, analytically, but your heart hasn't synced in. And that may be the reason why you're not in the place you want to be, right? There are so many true and false, mostly all false, by the way, in this little pop quiz that I just made up, that we have as pestering, as the money pest or the monkey mind brings into our ear or our subconscious mind, that we want to be mindful for, because in order for us to manifest a miracle as a change in consciousness, we have to really stop believing everything that you think. I know, right? That's like one of the biggest things that I've had to, I'm still working through that. And it might, like I said, this is a journey, so it might take different time for different people. So if you are the type of person who thinks that because you tried manifesting courses, books, international, national, well-known speakers, authors, and nothing works, then you're having internal resistance, and you want to deal with that before you really endeavor to go on this great adventure that we're having in August. It's not to say that you shouldn't join us, because, by the way, you can join us today, and you could check it out, see if you like the journey. And I will tell you that the women that do the best in these types of journeys are the women who are committed, who are open and receptive, who are aware of all these things that I just mentioned, and know they deserve at least a chance to perhaps try again. And, I am reminded of one of our most recent clients who completed one of our abundance journeys, a licensed psychologist who was in a practice as an employee. And in our time working together, she went from working for someone to opening up her own practice as a licensed psychologist. And from making very little by accepting insurance, and on top of that, accepting just a portion of what the insurance was paying because she was going through an employer, to having a practice that when we finished our journey together, she was over $16,000 a month in individual patient client. So she was open, she was receptive, and really she was manifesting a miracle, which was her change in consciousness. And really, I experienced her as a miracle. And I love that during our time together, I was a teacher to her. She was an open and receptive student, and I was a witness to her transformation. So if you are someone like that, or if you could imagine yourself experiencing that type of transformation, that type of miracle, if you will, then you're definitely someone that wants to check out our Money Manifesting Women.com school community and join our absolutely abundant August adventure. Because if you can see yourself slowly but surely becoming that financially free fabpreneur future self now, if you can see yourself even slightly, or if you can feel it as you're writing in your journal or as you're emailing yourself now, then that is what you are meant to be and become. So I want to invite you to check it out by going today. I also will invite you to Google and find my Google reviews page at EVDS Speaker Author, and you'll see why I'm a 5-star Google rated speaker and author. And you'll see the women that have attended similar, some may call it challenges or journeys with me, or this one we're calling it an adventure. And I want you to just check out what others have written if you need a little bit of reassurance other than me telling you about the story of my one client. And then just check it out. I mean, we have our Money Manifesting Women.com school community available for all women. And today, if you stumbled upon this video, it is because you were meant to watch it. As imperfect as the video might have come out, it was perfect for today, and it was perfect for the moment. And I am grateful that you stopped by to watch it, that you watch all the way till the end. And when you request to join our community, because you have to do a complete 3 questions, it's like a little 3-question application, if you will, to be able to join our private school community. Let me know that you saw this imperfectly perfect YouTube video, and because of it, you decided to check out the community. But more importantly than checking out the community, because of it, you gave yourself an opportunity to become your financially free fabpreneur future self. You are giving yourself an opportunity. I am simply a guide, if you will, sent by divine source or sent by an energy that you pull through, put out there, and perhaps, hopefully, this will be a response to a very intimate prayer inside of you that on this 8-8 was asking, what is mine to do? What do I do now? This is what I want. I've done so much, or I haven't done enough as far as the inner work, because we're talking about, you could call it wealth from within, or becoming, as we call it, your financially free fatpreneur. It's all a work from the inside out, not from out here. And it is a process, or as we call it, a journey. And if you're even a bit curious about what you are meant for, what is possible for you, I am here to be your cheerleader. I am here to let you know that here's my hand. Let's walk hand in hand on this journey together. I'm very grateful for you watching all the way to the end. Please make sure you subscribe. You're also welcome to visit my website at evds.com. My name is Evie Diaz, evds.com, and I am grateful to have this journey with you. And I'm particularly thankful for the internet and YouTube working on our behalf to make this possible today. I look forward to hearing from you, whether it be because you went to evds.com and you press the little button on the right-hand side that allows you to leave me a voice message. I'd love to hear from you. Whether it is because you asked to join our moneymanifestingwomen.com school community, or whether perhaps you go to evds.com and check out the financial trauma self-assessment quiz, and I get a little ding on my email that says, hey, someone else has become aware, as I did almost 4 years ago, that it's not that I'm doing the wrong things, or it's not that it's not meant for me to be financially free, but I need to heal some financial trauma or financial anxiety that I've had, and I need to learn how to regulate my nervous system so that it feels safe asking for, receiving, and giving money. So if that calls at your heart, and if you can just for a minute get away from here, the head, and go into here, the heart, then I look forward to our connection. Today, I specifically used the infinity sign to remind us that we are infinitely abundant, and that is your birthright. Once again, I'm Evie Diaz, coming to you live, and I look forward to you subscribing to this YouTube channel and getting to know you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for listening, and congratulations for giving yourself this opportunity. Be ready for a miracle, because the miracle is already you.